Hello, my name is Jade. Welcome to my media corner. This video is going to be the Losers Club Readathon, and this is my vlog of my experience with it. So the Losers Club Readathon is essentially just a Stephen King themed readathon. You just spend the week reading horror, thriller, maybe you don't even want to read horror thriller, like you just read whatever you want and try to meet the challenges. So here are the 10 challenges. I can't remember them off the top of my head, and I don't have them written down in front of me, so you'll just have to see. Pause to read. And then, depending on how many challenges you get done with, this is the criteria for the award you get at the end. I read 5 books for this video. I read Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell, which is right over here. I'm going to put the covers up here. Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell is about a couple named Felix and Faye. And essentially they go to Faye's family cabin. Way out in the mountains, it's snowing, it's freezing, and it's isolated. And while they're there, they start to hear strange noises coming from outside. Like, they hear strange animal calls, they hear children laughing, they hear blood-curdling screams, and they hear a whispering outside their window at night. Faye talks in her sleep quite often. But this time, Felix has noticed that she's not just whispering in her sleep. She's whispering back. And then I read 1922 by Stephen King. This was the buddy read. So 1922 is about a family that's living on a farm in the South in the year 1922. And the mother and the father have been fighting quite a lot about what they should do with the land. The wife wants to sell it and move to the city. The father doesn't. This is not a spoiler, because it's in the first sentence of the book. The father decides to kill the wife, goes through with it, and then he gets haunted by her. Then the next book I read was I Found You by Lisa Jewell. This is a mystery thriller novel set in 3 perspectives. The first perspective is from a woman named Alice, who is a single mother of 3. And one day she walks out to the beach because there's a mysterious man sitting in the cold. And he doesn't remember anything about his life, and he doesn't even remember his own name. Then we get Lily, whose husband has just gone missing, and she is panicking. And then the third perspective is from a brother and a sister named Gray and Kirsty. And this takes place in 1993, 23 years before the story starts. And it follows them as Gray starts to notice that there is a strange man that has kind of taken a liking to his sister, and he is not a fan. And then the next book I read was Carrie by Stephen King. We all know the story of Carrie, but just in case you don't, and you haven't been spoiled, I'll tell you a basic plot description. So Carrie is about a girl named Carrie White, and she's an outcast. She gets picked on quite a lot. She gets abused at home. And she has a strange psychic ability. As the poor treatment comes to like a peak or a plateau, she starts to learn how to fully get a grip on her power. So then the 5th and final book that I read for this video was The Troop by Nick Cutter. This is about a group of 5 Boy Scouts and their scoutmaster. And essentially every year they go out to this island off the coast for 2 days or so. They go for a weekend trip, and it's just a nice yearly tradition for them. But this year is very, very different. A man, a strange, emaciated, clearly ill, and fucking starving man comes onto the island. And from that moment, body horror ensues. So if you want to see what I thought of all these books, keep on watching. Hi guys, good morning. It is Friday the 16th. The 17th? The 17th. But it's the start of the Losers Club Readathon. So hi. What's up? I think I'm gonna start with Stolen Tongues. Just because, like, I've been watching Gabby Reads a lot recently, and I think it's about time I read it. I finally got a copy. I got this a couple days ago. I think it came in after I posted my vlog, like the day I posted my vlog, which is like super funny to me. Happy first day of the Losers Club Readathon, everyone. Yeah. I'm literally only 5 minutes in and I'm fucking terrified. Oh my god. This prologue with the parrot named Carrot is making me feel sick. The moment I hit the second floor, the bird shrieked, knock, knock. This time her call positively unnerved me. Carrot mimicked growling noises, then laughter. While closing the bedroom door, I heard her call out softly, don't cry, don't cry. Literally disgusting. I'm going to throw up. I'm so fucking scared. Okay, yeah, so I'm done with the prologue, and no, I can't read it right now. I can't. I just woke up like a little over an hour ago, and it's still dark outside. Let me see. Actually, well, it's getting light out, but this is the scariest book. This is already the scariest book I've read in years. The end of the prologue said some shit. Like, I'm not okay. It says, in the coming years, I learned from them that Carrot never spoke again. No. No. No way that bird just got traumatized by something that they can't even see. No. I am so scared. Okay, I have eaten and watched some YouTube videos. So I think I'm gonna get back into Stolen Tongues now. I'm really scared. I'm scared.
Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run.
So it's now 10 p.m. and I went downstairs to talk to my dad, like to just distract myself from this book because it's so fucking scary. I've been on page 50 for 2 hours because I just can't keep reading. I literally can't because it's so scary. I think it's my second favorite book of the year. Maybe my third because The Institute was really good. The Institute by Stephen King was really, really good. Man. Like, this is shaping up to be one of my favorite horror novels of all time. But it's so scary that I'm like, I can't stomach so much of it. It just keeps talking about, like, all the different voices that they're hearing outside and, like, the dozens of footprints that are just strewn across the ground, like walking around the house, going back and forth from the woods. One of them looks like a drunken stupor. One of them looks like someone's taking gigantic leaps through the snow. Like, it's horrifying. I'm like, dude, this is nasty. And they keep seeing people standing at their windows looking at them. And I'm like, ew, 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 ew. Ew. No, dude. It's so fucking scary. And the writing is really good too. Like, sometimes with self-published work, it feels like there should have been more of a revision process, but like this as a self-published work is literally near perfect. It could use just a little tiny baby little bit of tweaking, but like fucking damn. Yep, so officially on part 2, I am gonna stop for the night because 1, I'm tired, 2, I'm scared. As I've said, I'm getting redundant, but I'm fucking scared. This book is scary as hell. Since this is a Stephen King themed readathon, I think I'm actually gonna watch a couple Stephen King movies. I'm now gonna watch, I'm gonna do a rewatch of one of my favorite Stephen King movies, Gerald's Game, on Netflix. I love this movie. Also, by the way, Mike Flanagan is one of my favorite horror directors, like literally ever. I think he is my favorite horror director. He's amazing and has such a strong grasp on what scares people. Like, I love Dr. Sleep. I love Gerald's Game. I love Oculus. I love The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass. Like, literally, there's so much shit from him that I love. So yeah, I'm gonna watch Gerald's Game right now, and I'm very, very excited about it. I love Gerald's Game. Okay, I finished Gerald's Game. I have thoughts. This viewing was not as good as the other ones. Oh my god. Last time I watched it, I wasn't like a critic.
I wasn't like a critic, so I wasn't judging movies. Like, I wasn't watching them on a technical level a lot of the time. I was mostly just watching them on a haha movie, good time, good movie. I like movie mindset. And what the fuck were those last 10 minutes? If you've seen the movie, you know. What the fuck was the last 10 minutes of that? If that's what the book is like, I don't want any part of it. Let me just say that now. Because the first 90 minutes of this movie were fantastic and led to a fucking gut-wrenching body horror scene. And I can see a point where it should have been left, or also something they could have just left out in general. But as it sits right now, the ending feels like the ending of a Lifetime movie. And I don't know how to feel about it. I actually do know how to feel about it. I don't like it. But it's only the last 10 minutes. And it doesn't ruin the rest of the movie for me. I'd still give it like a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's not one of my favorites. It's not one of my favorites of all time anymore. But I still think it's good. I'm going to bed. Because it's 1 a.m. It's 1 a.m. And it is time to go to sleep. Good night. See you guys in the morning. Hi, everyone. So it's 11 in the morning. On Saturday. And I woke up like an hour ago. I haven't eaten yet. So I think I want to eat before this. But on Ashley's Little Library channel, they are doing Losers Club Readathon. Readathon sprints. So I think once I don't know how long they're going to be doing it. I'm going to participate in the reading sprints. Like, this is perfect. So the first reading sprint that I showed up for, there were only 12 minutes left on it, so I ended up reading like 20 pages, because then they extended it a little bit because Ashley from Ashley's Little Library. That's it. But yeah, she went to go like make a pizza, so they extended the time a little bit by like an extra couple minutes, but I got like 20 pages done in that first sprint. And then the second sprint was 40 minutes. And I got up to page 114. I'm on chapter 16, and it just keeps getting better. It just keeps getting better. But I need to take a break and go get some food. But like, look at how much progress I've made. Love that for me. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go get like McDonald's or something. Oh, my head hurts. I need to have some caffeine too. Stolen Tongues is going very well though, and I'm so happy with it. I actually talked to them a little bit about it on that live stream, because I put in a comment and I was like, they were like asking how much progress everyone made on their books and stuff. And I was like, oh, I made like 15 pages of progress in Stolen Tongues because I got here a little late. And it's like one of the scariest books I've ever read. And then Beth from bethsallbooked, she was mentioning how, like, because I said that Stolen Tongues is one of the scariest books I've ever read. And she was like, yeah, so a lot of people think that this book is like really scary. And then when I read it, I felt kind of out of the loop because I didn't find it that scary. But then I like went to bed that night and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and it made me not sleep. And I was like, she knows the vibe. She gets it. I mean, I may not agree with her on the fact that she didn't find it scary while she was reading it, but there's something about it that's like, I was reading a little interview with Felix Blackwell. He was talking about how he wanted to make a monster in this book that was playing around with the uncanny valley. And I'm like, that is why it's so scary, is because it's just a fucking monster that's imitating people. Kind of like a flesh pedestrian. I refuse to say the word. It feels like a flesh pedestrian does. And that monster, the idea of it has scared me about it from the moment I heard what it was. And I'm like, ew. And it makes sense that this actually came from r/no sleep. Like, this was a collection of stories on r/no sleep at first, and then he published it into a book. It's so cool. Yeah, I'm loving it so far. This is going great. But I'm gonna go get some food and maybe watch a movie because I need a break. Okay, so I have eaten my food. I still have some of my Powerade left over. I'm fed and hydrated, and now I'm gonna keep reading Stolen Tongues. And I actually pulled up the same ambience that all the girlies were listening to when they were doing the reading sprints. And because it's cool, it's the Overlook ambience from the Overlook Hotel, and it's really cool. So, and I feel like that fits the vibes of Stolen Tongues.
Run, rabbit, run, 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 run. Run, rabbit, run, run, run.
Hi. So I finished part 3. I'm on part 4. Page 215 out of 298. That means I only have 83 pages left. I'm going to finish it tonight, but I need a fucking break. Part 3 was fucking horrifying. Fucking horrifying. I literally need to take a fucking breather. Like, this book is so good, but holy fucking shit, I need to take a break. Felix Blackwell, if you're watching this video, you are a monster. What is wrong with you for being able to come up with something like this? But like, love you though, but oh my god, you fucking freak. This is terrifying. This is literally the scariest book I've ever read. This is the scariest book I have ever read. I had a nightmare last night about this book. I had a nightmare that someone was right outside that window looking at me while I was sleeping. So, I think I'm gonna have another nightmare tonight though. Like, I literally, after the images that we saw in part 3, I don't know how I can handle the rest of this book. I'm so stressed out. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you guys, like, I went downstairs at like 10:45 to like talk to my dad about the book, because he's awesome and he lets me rant to him about the books I'm reading, because the end of part 3 was so fucked up and like so horrifying. I don't even know how I'm gonna handle reading the rest of this book right now, because it's now midnight, because we were just ranting to each other about things. Sometimes we just like get into it and we talk about everything that makes us happy, and it's great and I love it. But I was down there from 10:45 until midnight. And now that it's midnight, I have decided to finish the book. I'm fucking terrified. 1 a.m. 48 pages left. Actually, 46. I'm gonna throw out. It's now 1:47 in the morning, and I have finished Stolen Tongues. Yeah, so this was fantastic. One of my new favorite horror novels of all time. What the hell? Also number 2 of the year. Easy number 2. Peep Taylor Swift in the background. I have everything moved for my new bed frame, which is coming in around 1:30. So I got my new bed in. It's big, it's chunky, it's a lot more stable than my other bed was. So that's wonderful. And now I have a bookshelf on my bed, like I've always wanted. So it's fucking sick. So I'm gonna organize this. I'm gonna organize the bookshelf, and y'all are gonna watch. Have fun.
obviously this is a work in progress, but this is where we are right now. And I love it. Did a little more. I put my Morgan Crow books there. Exit Here and the Stranger. I don't know. I think I like what's going on here. And then I've got Harleen right there, because gorgeous. Sleeping next to Harley's broken mask face, though. Gonna be a little weird. Okay, so I'm done putting all of my books over there. I don't know if you can see, but whatever. So I wanted to give my final review for Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell. So while it is a 5-star book, I will say the ending is a little anticlimactic. It's definitely a little anticlimactic. Like, the way that everything is solved, the way that everything comes together was a little too easy. I was like, what the fuck? But I don't know. I think it still had an emotionally satisfying conclusion. It's just that the way that everything was dealt with, I was like, overall, as you saw, it scared the shit out of me and made me feel just deeply uncomfortable the whole fucking time. And the characters were all so lively and real and beautiful. Like, all of the characters were so amazing in this. I love the imagery in it. I love the writing. I love the story structure. Like, it really kept me on my toes. I couldn't really predict a lot of the things that were happening. I really think it was great. It was such a good book. It's the only thing I don't really love about it is the ending. But, like, that's it. And I am really looking forward to the prequel novel that's coming out soon. Okay, so I took a nap. I also went on a run. Now I'm gonna read 1922. I'm scared. I've heard there's stuff with rats. And I remember a little bit of rat stuff in the movie, but like not a lot. So here we go. Ignore the wind sounds. I have my windows open because it was hot up here. I'm reading 1922 and I don't think I like it. Like I don't think I like it because why? Like, listen, I get that Arlette, spoilers, kind of, but not really. I'm gonna keep it vague. But like, listen, I get that she's drunk, but why is she talking about sex in such a grotesque manner in reference to her fucking 14-year-old son? So I'm almost a quarter of the way through 1922 now. And it's getting better. It's definitely better. But it just got, like, so fucking disturbing so fast. Yeah, I don't feel good. This is gross. This is disgusting. Like, both Wilfred and his son are actual misogynistic pieces of shit. And, I'm just like, I kind of know the vague idea of what's coming up. And I'm like, good. These assholes deserve it. Hey, so I'm changing up my TBR a little bit. I don't actually want to read this copy of Carrie. Like, I kind of just want to keep it how it is, you know? This is a really cool classic book. What I decided to do is I am still going to read Carrie. I'm going to read this copy. And it'll still be fulfilling female main character, high school setting, right? And then I've got a couple options by Lisa Jewell. And I don't know which one I want to read first, because I bought all three of these pre-owned. I bought all three of these at a library sale. So we've got Watching You by Lisa Jewell, I Found You by Lisa Jewell, and Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. And I know that a lot of people love Then She Was Gone. People also really like I Found You. Watching You, not as many people are a big fan of, so I think I might actually leave this one out. And then I Found You sounds fucking crazy with like the interwoven plot lines and stuff like that.
all of her books are decently short, or at least all 3 of these. Like this one's only 342 pages. This one's only like 320 something, if I remember correctly. And 324. And She Was Gone is only, oh well, actually this one's pretty long compared to the others. 356. Both of these involve a mystery about something that happened like decades ago coming back to light. Maybe I'll do a try a chapter tag, but definitely not reading this one first. Okay, so I'm on chapter 6, and I definitely think this is interesting. I'm a little conflicted because, like, it is slower paced than I was expecting it to be. A lot of the reviews I saw led me to believe that this was going to be, like, breakneck speed, like, crazy shit. And I mean, like, I'm only 38 pages in, so I need to stop making that kind of assumption this fast, but there was something that was dropped on us that was like, oh no. So yeah, there's definitely some creepy shit in here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Lisa Jewell does with all these perspectives that are in the story. So far, still only got 2. So I'm like, when is the third section of the story going to come into play? I just hit the end of part 1. I spoke too soon. What the hell? Something fucked just got revealed. Oh, interesting. Okay, wow. That just added so much mystery into the mix. I'm hooked now. We're finally getting the chapter of the kids from 1993, which is super interesting. Yeah, this is getting really, really interesting really fast.
This is very professional.
I love that I watched Jack in the Books, even though we have, like, vastly different taste in books. He reads, like, almost exclusively literary fiction, and I'm over here reading thrillers and fucking body horror, fucking supernatural horror. Like, just our tastes just don't line up, but I fucking love his personality. So I decided to watch his hour-and-a-half long read with me. Also, peep the rain sounds outside. That shit is golden. What? Page 191. Oh fuck. Chapter 47. I think I might want to try to finish this right now. I don't have to go to bed until 1 in the morning. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna do it. I've adjusted. I've gotten a blanket. I only have 95 pages left of this book, and I feel like I'm gonna fly through it, so let's get her done. So 1 a.m. I'm finished. That was so good. I am going to give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Hi everyone, I'm at work, but my mean manager isn't here today. So I'm gonna, I didn't bring Carrie with me, but I found out that I'm gonna go see Pearl with my sister tonight at 6:10. So I'm gonna have to read a little bit at work. Actually, I'm gonna read a lot at work. I'm gonna get the ebook for Carrie, and I'm gonna read it here. I'm a third of the way through, and this read is reminding me how interesting of a character Sue Snell is. Also, sorry about the coloration of my mouth. I've been nonstop eating Jolly Ranchers while I'm at work, so I'm like, back to the point. Sue Snell is such an interesting character. She's so, like, morally gray, because of course she participated in the shit in the shaming of Carrie White. But like, you could tell she didn't want to do it, and at the same time she's being a hypocrite because like she only did it to fit in, and now she hates the people that did it to her, that she was doing it to Carrie with. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy, man. Okay, so let me show you. So I've filled out all of the notes that I wanted to fill out from the ebook, and just look at it. It's got tons of highlights, tons of underlines, tons of tabs. I'm loving this so far. It's interesting to think about the fact that this is Stephen King's least favorite book he's ever written. And I know that he said he fucking hates her. Like, he hated Carrie when he was writing this book. He hated her. Like, full-on rage hated her. So, I don't know. I don't see why he would. I don't see why this would be his least favorite book he's ever written. Because, like, I think it's good as fuck. Like, it's genuinely really, really good. And it's kind of jarring to hear this was his first book. Like, this doesn't feel like a debut novel. This doesn't feel like a debut novel. This feels like something way down the line in someone's career. It's crazy. I do think that Carrie is a very horrifically misunderstood character in the history of everything. Because it, like, the New York Times says, guaranteed to chill you, gory and horrifying, you can't put it down, eerie and haunting, sheer terror, shivering, shuddering, macabre evil. No, Carrie is so misunderstood. She does not deserve to have people say, like, oh, this is fucking horrific. This is the scariest fucking book you'll ever read. Girl, she is a victim of abuse. She exhibits autistic traits. She is relentlessly bullied at school. She's an outcast to the nth degree. And so if you somehow don't know what happens to her in this book and in the movie and in the story as a whole, I'm going to spoil it right now. Carrie gets pig's blood, a whole fucking bucket of pig's blood dumped on her head when she gets crowned as prom queen. You would go on a fucking psychotic murdering spree too, wouldn't you? That's not scary to me. It's sad. This is a fucking depressing story. It's really interesting to see the characters that did the initial bullying thing to her, where they were throwing tampons at her in the bathroom, all regretting it. Like Sue Snell, the Chris Hargensen people, and the Billy Nolan people. God, he's scuzzy. She doesn't like me much. Susie, she hates your guts. I heard her father was going to sue the school department and then he changed his mind, she said. Helen shrugged. She hasn't made any friends out of this. I don't know what got into us, any of us. It makes me feel like I don't even know my own mind. Seeing these girls regretting their actions and realizing how badly they've been treating Carrie just because Chris Hargensen wanted them to is soul crushing. All of the characters are so beautifully done in this book, and I love it. I fucking love it. It's not my favorite Stephen King book by any means, but it's up there. It's really up there. Just when I thought Stephen King wasn't gonna use a slur, I should have known. So I'm on page 269. This is fucked, man. This is so fucked. There's so much more than just the prom in this that gets destroyed. Like, this is horrible. This is so fucked. Oh my god, man. Fuck. And just like that, I'm done with Carrie. The ending of that book is very different from the movie. Oh my god. Like, I still sympathize with Carrie, even after all this. I still sympathize with her. Because it's like, if these fucking assholes hadn't done anything that they did to her, none of this would have happened. She was having a great night. She was having a great night. And then she inflicted mortal peril on the entire town. Fucking Christ. I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. Because it's not my favorite King, but it's still really fucking good. God damn. Hi, I'm home from work, and I'm chugging an energy drink because, bitch, I'm going to the screening. I'm going to the employee screening of Don't Worry, Darling. I'm gonna get tipsy and watch that movie because I got sad news this morning. I am actually gonna go into it a little bit because I am really, really sad about it and I want to talk about it. My mom's dog. We both kind of like got really attached to this dog. His name was Buddy. He was 6 years old at the time. We had him for 3 years, so he got to 9 years old. He was a English bulldog, and if you've owned an English bulldog before, you know they have really bad health complications constantly. And he was 9 years old. He was getting towards the end. And yeah, he kind of went through some really, really bad stuff last night. They took him up to the emergency vet and they had to put him down. And it was really upsetting because I got that news. Literally, my mom texted me 10 minutes before I woke up about it. So I woke up to the news, literally woke up crying. It was horrible. I sobbed for like an hour. And then I read Carrie to distract myself, and then I moped around at work all day. So I feel like tonight is a good night to get tipsy and watch a bad movie. Just as a way to like cool off from the day I've had. And I'm also going to be reading as much as I can of the troop. I'm worried about the length of it now. But I'm like, okay, I literally have to read this book. Like, I have to. I've been meaning to for so long. And I was like briefly considering just now, like switching last second and reading Lord of the Flies instead, like rereading that book. Because I already read it in high school. I read it for a class. I read it for my honors English course in sophomore year. And I've been meaning to reread it for the longest time, but I don't think I'm going to do that for this video. I am going to read The Troop. I'm going to try to get as far into it as possible.
Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Bang.
I'm going to throw up. I can't do this. Bitch, I'm fucking traumatized. So I'm at part 2 now. And I actually think I am going to stop right now. Because I'm getting tired. I have to stay awake for this fucking movie. But yeah, I made it all the way through part 1 in a sitting. And also the font is way smaller than I gave it credit for. Like, look at this. Look how tiny the font is. It's baby tiny. Small. Okay, so emergency update. I really liked Don't Worry, Darling. I don't agree with the 30% score. That's fucked up. I may have been being dramatic in the car when I was coming back. That clip from right there, I was being dramatic. But listen, I really don't think it's terrible. I actually thought it was much better than people are giving it credit for. However, there was a lot about it that irked me. Like, the more I think on it, like, it was an enjoyable experience watching it in theaters. And also it was really fun making fun of Harry Styles' performance throughout. Because, oh boy, he's a bad actor, and it was really fun to make fun of his stupid little faces, like his little, his I don't even know how to recreate it. He like furrows his brow and then he goes, it's like he's trying to do the Florence Pugh, like the frown that she does, like the that thing. I can't even recreate it, but it's like he was trying to do that thing she did in Midsummer, that Florence Pugh did in Midsummer, and it did not fucking work. Oh, bitch. It was so sad. It was so embarrassing. I was like, sir, just stick to singing. This is embarrassing. I think there are a lot of problems with the script, though. The plot structure. Oh my God, why was this movie so predictable? Like, it's so predictable. A lot of the ideas that the scriptwriter had have been rehashed over and over again. And it just doesn't hit the same. Like, I would have forgiven this movie a little bit more, a lot more, if it had been made in like the 90s or the early 2000s. I'm getting the feeling I should just watch The Stepford Wives and see how it compares. It's the next morning. It's actually the afternoon now. It's 1 p.m. Exactly 1 p.m. on the 22nd. Today is the last day of the readathon, and I'm gonna be reading at work because my mean manager isn't here. And I don't really have much to do today. So I mean, it's perfect, honestly. Yeah. I'm gonna read at work again. So when I read a book and listen to the audiobook at the same time, I usually listen to the audiobook at 3 times speed. And it says that I only have 2 hours and 15 minutes left of the audiobook when I'm listening to it at 3 times speed, because that's how fast my eyes go, is about 3 times the speed of an audiobook most of the time. It's interesting. I'm excited. So I really, like, I could really just crank this out in the next 2 or 3 hours. I just read the chimpanzee part. I am sick to my stomach. Oh my God, what the fuck? Oh my fucking God. James Wan was supposed to be turning this into a movie in 2019. No. N-O. That's horrid. Why would you ever do that? Why would you ever do that? Here we fucking go. Only got 55 pages left. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Done with the troop. And my head hurts. Oh my God. Look how many fucking tabs I put in this. Look at that. Oh, I loved this. This was great. Like, just such a fucking disgusting horror novel, and it's like Stephen King says, it's old school horror at its best. Like, this shit just gets right into the nitty gritty and doesn't let you go until the end. Fuck, that was great. That was, what a fucking book. What a fucking book. Okay, so it's Friday now. It's the day after the readathon has ended, and I'm gonna start editing my video now. But that's it. So yeah, in summary, I read Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell, gave it 5 out of 5. I read 1922 by Stephen King, gave it 2 stars. I read What was the one? Oh, I Found You by Lisa Jewell. Gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then I read Carrie by Stephen King. 5 out of 5 stars. And then I read The Troop by Nick Cutter. 5 out of 5 stars. If I were to rank these from worst to best, obviously 1922 is going to be the worst because I did not like it. And then it's going to be I Found You. And then shit gets weird for me because it's like Carrie, The Troop, and Stolen Tongues were all so fucking good. But I think I want to put it, since the ending of Stolen Tongues was kind of like a little too convenient, I'm going to put it next. I'll put it at number 3. No. Carrie at number 3. No. That feels wrong. No, it doesn't. Carrie at number 3. Stolen Tongues at number 2 and The Troop at number 1. Love it. This just went so well. It went so much better than I expected. Okay. So number 1 is the Paul Bunyan statue, which is red on the cover. And Stolen Tongues fits that. Aladdin movie theater, I did not watch the movie. I did not join the movie watch. So, ixnay to that one. Town Dump secondhand book, I Found You by Lisa Jewell. Falcon Bar, Fix Yourself a Drink, did not happen. Unless you would count me drinking a Truly at the Don't Worry Darling screening. I'm gonna count it. I'm sorry, I'm counting it. Yeah, because I poured myself the drink. I don't care. It came from a bottle, but I do not care. I mean, a can. But I don't fucking care. Number 5, Derry Public Library, recommended by King. The Troop. That worked. Number 6, Beverly's House, female protagonist. Carrie. Fucking I Found You. Derry High School, school setting. Carrie. Carrie was a school setting. Number 8, Bill's House, favorite author, Stephen King. Did it. Number 9, The Barrens, Buddy Reed. Did it. And The Old House, creepy setting, The Troop, Stolen Tongues. I'd even argue Carrie, because that town is fucking gross. Once you hit 3 prompts, you get tourist. Once you hit 5 prompts, you get regular. Once you hit 7 prompts, you get Derry resident. 10 prompts is the key to the city. I did not join the movie watch, and that's the only point that I was missing. But I'm still a Derry resident. So, I'm gonna count this as a big fat dub. I didn't make that fucking hocus pocus punch like I wanted to. But it's fine. Everything's fine. So, yeah, this was pretty successful. And if you stuck around to the end, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Keep an eye out for my next video. I don't know when that's gonna be or what that video is gonna be at all. But I'm sure I'll think of something because I'm really in a groove now. But yeah, thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.